All right, everybody, welcome back, baby. Welcome back to the real news and not that fake news. You're not going to get no Trump trial stuff here. You're not going to hear about Michael Cohen. You're not going to hear none of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? We're here to give you the real news. We're going to talk to real news. We're going to talk about the World Health Organization, the WHO. They got a deal that they're getting ready to vote on in May. The end of May is coming up. It's the 14th. I think on the 27th, there's a vote to have the World Health Organization preside over the next pandemic. So your government, your elected officials, are not going to rule. The World Health Organization is going to rule. That's a hard word to say, WHO. Oh, well. And we also got representatives from the United States Senate that want to have Israel bomb Palestine with nuclear weapons. They want to end the war right away. It's wild out here. It's wild out here. And the biggest topic of the day is the GameStop, baby. The GME is back. The king is back, baby. It's trading high. The shorts are in. Some people are saying by Friday it hits 100. I guess the shorts are already at 100 and something, 150. I mean, if you don't know what that means, it means it's a good time to probably buy. It's going to be a squeeze. Now, let me grant you, I am not a financial expert whatsoever, but I got Jim Cramer here. If you don't believe me, let's watch Jim Cramer. He is a professional. He is on TV every day talking about stocks. And if this man says he don't see it going past $44, $64, then we don't know what we're doing. So let's play this before I get into the whole game. Is it a hold? Are we buying? We got diamond hands. We got the diamond hands out there, right? Let's see what this man's got to say. That's our boy. That's our boy Kramer. I feel like you always got to fade in, baby.
I just can't get 64, or I can't even get the 44 for that matter. In short, when I see this running GameStop, the responsible move is simply to say, sell, sell, sell. What about AMC? Different situation entirely.
Hold on, AMC. Now he's on AMC. So the meme stocks are all back. AMC, GameStop. What was the other one? There was another one. Wasn't it like Bed Bath & Beyond or something? What was that one? I can't remember. But there was a third one. T-Mobile, Nokia. It was a phone, right? It's like, what? Come on. Put your money in Apple, Alphabet, Amazon. You're not gonna go wrong. The whole world's turned into those. So if you want real financial advice, buy the big monies. Buy the big monies. You're not going to. The stock market is not a lottery ticket. You see what they're doing at GameStop right now. They shut it down multiple times the last 2 days. But let's play what the rest of Kramer got to say about AMC in case there's anybody in here holding that. And everybody loves the movies.
GameStop at least has a good balance sheet and actually turned a profit last year. It's just that the stock's overvalued compared to its peers. But AMC, well, it's left to its own devices. I think this movie theater chain will mostly run out of money in 2026 when $2.8 billion in debt comes due. They sold some stock yesterday from a plan that allows them to raise capital, but the $250 million they raised just made it easier for them to pay their debts that come due in 2025. If the stock keeps climbing, AMC can sell more stock. That's good. It's how these guys made it through the pandemic to begin with. But that big slug of 2026, it's just way too daunting. In the end, I think it's a dead man walking. You're catching AMC in the walking phase. Sell it before the dead man phase.
So they don't want you pushing on AMC. I guess that's what they're saying. But I don't know if you could trust Kramer, right? We can't trust old Jim Cramer. He was wrong about it before. And it's very weird because the stock market is very sketchy. It's very sketchy. I remember Game when it got up to like 400. I believe it split. And then they sold a bunch of the money. Chad, what are you saying? Anybody know? But it was wild times a couple years ago. But it all started when Roaring Kitty came back. Roaring Kitty's the one that was talking about all the shorts that were in there. Like all these institutions are betting that it's going to lose and go out of stock. It's GameStop. It's dead. Everybody buys games online now, right? Your computer, your PlayStation. It's all online now. You know what I'm saying? There's no more physical copies. Back in my day, I'd have to wait outside of GameStop to get like the Call of Duty. Back in the day in like 2007, the Call of Duty was hot. The World at War was coming out. we're going to release the dogs and all that. That's when it was time. You had to be out there at midnight, and you get like the 3 different tier levels of it, and that's what gaming was. But now it's not that no more. So I think it's us people that are out here reminiscing, holding it up. Because you got to remember, it's only a few years ago, maybe 10, 11, 12, 13 years ago that you were outside camping for video games at midnight. And it was fun. You're out there hanging out with the homies. So more power to it. If you got $1 million, put it in the GameStop. Check it out. See what's going on. You're going to win some money. You're going to win some money. I can't guarantee that, but if you at least put it in there at the right time and take it out 2 hours later, you're golden. But hey, we're not going to play the markets. But that's not the only thing going on that's crazy. That's not the only thing going on that's definitely crazy. Because GameStop, I mean, it just seems like it's just not going to go away. It's just not going to go away. And it's magical. It's magical. Right here's the stock right now. It's at 50. It was at $10 2 days ago. And I remember this is how it was before. It was at 10, 50, 75, 50, 75, 100. And then all of a sudden, it hit 400. It hit 400. So I don't know if it's got the same run in it, but it might. Let's pull this up. Here it is where it started out. See, it started out just a couple days ago. Let's pull the screen up. I mean, just a couple days ago. Look at it. I mean, it's rising. Look at it. It peaked out today at 80. Peaked out at 80 today. So, hey, do what you want to do with that information. Do what you want to do with that information. I suggest you save your money. But if you got a gambling bug, toss a couple dollars on GameStop. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy life. Toss a couple dollars. Don't expect to put in anything that you can't afford to lose. That'd be my first rule of advice. So if you got $1, get $1. On Robinhood, you can go on Robinhood and Toro. What's the other bull one? E-Trade. I don't think you could do it, but you can put in $1. You can put $1. You can get like increments of the shares. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But what we're not going to do is let Lindsey Graham do anything more. You know what I'm saying? Lindsey Graham is a senator from South Carolina. He is the biggest warmonger ever. He goes over to Ukraine all the time. He wants to send all your money everywhere but the United States of America. Here, we want to send our money back here to us. We deserve it. We deserve a tax break. There's too much taxes. There's too much funding. Send it back here. If they sent all the money they sent out over there back to here, we would all be millionaires. 100% fact. Everybody would be a millionaire. But we're not. We're not. Because they should be taxing the corporations that are selling overseas their products and giving that back to Americans. That's what they should be doing. They profit, but they're taxed and it comes back to America. All of them, because that's what Americans do. They take care of each other, but we don't do that here. What we do here is the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. It looks like they're trying to destroy the middle class with inflation and all this stuff. They want Skid Row out there. They want Skid Row. If you don't believe me, that they want to send out nukes. They want them to go. They want death. We don't want no death here at the Rock and Roll Rebel Show. We want peace. But look at Lindsey Graham. This guy right here, is he calling for nuclear weapons? He's calling for nuclear weapons to be used. He wants Israel to use nuclear weapons on people. He wants to kill people. Listen to this. Vote this guy out. Listen to this. This is complete insanity.
President Biden is not the first president to use arms shipments to try to influence Israeli policy. As you know, former President Ronald Reagan on multiple occasions withheld weapons to impact Israel's military actions. Did President Reagan show that using U.S. military aid as leverage can actually be an effective way to rein in and impact Israel's policy?
When you're telling the world you're going to restrict weapons delivery to the Jewish state who is fighting a three-front war for their survival,
three-front war?
It emboldens Iran, it emboldens Hamas. Sinwar is probably...
Did we not just see Iran's response? They sent like 17 rockets or whatever, them paper plane drones with firecrackers on them. And that's how they trick you. And you know what I'm saying? It's all smoke and mirrors.
Juiced up on the idea there's daylight between the United States and Israel. The hostage deal is harder. This is the worst decision in the history of the U.S. Israel relationship to deny weapons at a time the Jewish state could be destroyed. So here's what I would say. There is some hope we can get over this. Non-negotiable the destruction of Hamas. Nobody in Israel will allow Hamas to be standing militarily or politically when this is over. How we get there is subject to negotiation. My problem is not with the weapons that Israel is using. My problem is with the tactics that Hamas is using and the idea that America would not send a nickel of aid, echoed by a United States senator when all the Jews are trying to be killed by radical Islamic groups, tells us where we're at as a nation. The Republican Party is with Israel without apology.
Well, historians would say, why is it okay for Reagan to do it and not President Biden? But let me ask you about
why is it okay?
deal.
Well, can I say this? Why is it okay for America to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to end their existential threat war? Why was it okay for us to do that? I thought it was okay. To Israel, do whatever you have to do to survive.
Did he just have, you can't handle the truth? Did he just, what? He just had, you can't handle the truth. He issued the code red.
Potential threat war. Why was it okay for us to do that? I thought it was okay. To Israel, do whatever you have to do to survive as a Jewish state.
Senator, again, military officials say the technology has changed. But let me ask you about how all
these
of this
military
could
officials
impact.
that you're talking about
Let me ask you
are
something.
full of crap.
Thanks for watching. Stay
Islamic groups.
Say
Apology.
Well, historians would say, why is it okay for Reagan to do it and not President Biden? But let me ask you about
why is it okay?
deal.
Well, can I say this? Why is it okay for America to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to end their existential threat war? Why was it okay for us to do that? I thought it was okay. To Israel, do whatever you have to do to survive as a Jewish state.
Senator, again, military officials say the technology has changed. But
he's fired up, bro. He wants the gas. He wants all the gas. Lindsey Graham wants all the gas. He does not care. He wants radiation blasted. And that's just, can we vote him out? This is why you got to get out and vote, everybody. Get out and vote. Make sure you vote. And that's the only way we're going to get out of this mess. Because Donald Trump doesn't want war. I know Trump's not perfect. Trump's what we got right now. What we need is somebody's going to get in and untangle everything. But maybe Trump got in and realized it runs deep, runs real deep. So maybe Trump, hopefully he sets us up with the next one as a VP to come in, like a Vic Ramaswamy. I would say Bobby Kennedy. He could do like on the the World Health Organization. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to vote on that. Remember, don't forget, we opened up with them trying to vote to come in and be in charge of all the pandemic. And we saw what they got wrong and what they've been getting wrong. Like they got AIDS wrong. If you just look at that, Dr. Fauci was a part of that too. So, I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on that runs deep. Here, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to teach you anything, but we're just going to open up your brain waves and make you research something. So if you go out there, vote, research, do your own homework. That's real science. That's real science. But, I mean, what else you going to do, people? What else are we going to do? You got to make sure you protect yourselves, baby, in the jungle, right? Protect yourselves at all times.
Look at this dumb motherfucker.
But I don't know. What are we going to do, people? We're going to get on out of here. We have 15 minutes rolling up. It's peace and love. God loves you, and I will definitely see you all mañana, baby. Mañana.